Hey everyone, welcome back to my house. It was the last week of school this week. Yeah! Now you get to wear pajamas all day and stay home and... Oh wait, you've already been doing that. Anyways, today is the third day in our Jesus Is series. We've learned that Jesus is the vine and Jesus is the good shepherd. But before I tell you today's theme, there's some families that want to greet you. So here they are.
Hi, I'm Cindy.
I'm Kylie.
I'm Andrew.
And we're the Hilliard family. I miss worshiping with my church family so much.
What I miss about church is getting all together.
What I miss about church is just seeing everyone, shaking hands, and giving hugs. We love you guys. We'll see you soon.
Bye.
Hey West Valley Church, this is the Lallies. We miss you.
We're looking forward to seeing you guys again.
I got a little tear in my eye.
We look forward to being with you guys, worshiping God and fellowship. See you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, families. We've had lots of videos from families that wanted to greet you. And if you've missed any, you can watch videos from last month to see some of the other families. Now it's time to sing a song, and it's a lot of fun because this song reminds us that we can praise God and move at the same time. Are you ready? Let's get praising and let's get moving.
Oh yeah, we're back. Yeah, this is the moving song part 2. Oh yeah. You stop saying yeah. Yeah. All right, everyone, get up on your feet. Shake out those legs. Shake those arms. Shake your head, and let's get moving. This is called the moving song. Moving song. Moving song. This is called the moving song. Everybody move to the right.
Move to the right.
Move to the right. Now running man, running man. Run, 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 running man. And dab, another dab. Don't stop. And dab, don't stop. And dab. Now the girls sit down. Boys wave your arms, it's a touchdown. And the boys sit down. Girls wave your arms, you're the talk of the town. Everybody stand up and raise your arms up to the sky. Yeah, and now put them back down again. Nah, put your arms up. Put them back down again. No. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. This is called the moving song, moving song, moving song. This is called the moving song, moving song, moving song. This is called the moving song, moving song, moving song. This is called the moving song, moving song, moving song. Now you gotta understand that God gave you some hands. So raise those hands in the air and give someone a high five. Like you really do care. Oh, yeah. High five, high five, high five, high five, high five, high five, high five. Face the front and let me see you in slow. Now pose. Clap your hands. That's some good moving. But now we're gonna go pro. Can you keep up? I don't know. Here we go. Now bop. Bop, bop, bop. Superman. Batman. Superman. Batman. Box step. Box step. And the robot freeze. This is called the moving song, moving song, moving song. This is called the moving song, moving song, moving song. This is called the moving song, moving song, moving song. This is called the moving song, moving song, moving song. Everybody flossing. Come on. I wanna see everybody flossing. Am I doing it right, Mark? No, not really. I
Great job moving! So I got a question for you. Are you afraid of the dark? I mean, I'm not. But when I was a kid, this one time...
Hey, who turned out the lights? Come on, this isn't very funny. Hello? Hello? Are you there?
Oh, well that's better. Hey, Judah! Pastor's kids. Anyways, the story that I was going to tell you is about a time when I was a kid and I had to take out the trash. Do you ever have to take out the trash? Well, I did when I was a kid, and this one time I was walking towards the trash can and it was so dark out I could barely see the trash can. I started walking, I tossed the garbage into the garbage can, and then I heard a noise. I looked around, I didn't see anything. But I was a little scared because we had a dog, and the week before that, the dog had been sprayed by a skunk. I was worried that I was going to be next. But I looked around and I didn't see anything. So I waited and I just kind of listened, couldn't hear anything, so I slowly walked back to the house. And then I heard something else. But this time the noise was a lot bigger. Much bigger than a skunk. Much bigger. So I was a little bit afraid then and I started to run. And as I ran, I heard something else running towards me. And there was a person, they ran up to me and they grabbed me and then they started tickling me. And they tickled me and tickled me, and then I found out that it was my uncle. But I didn't know it at the time because I was so afraid and it was so dark. I couldn't see them. And it's really important to see in the dark. That's why our cars have headlights, and that's why we have lights in our homes, and when you go camping you take a flashlight because you need to be able to see. So what does light have to do with Jesus? Well, today's Bible verse will tell us the answer. And for the Bible verse, Ewan Gillespie is going to read it for us. He's going to read John chapter 8, verse 12. Here he is.
When Jesus spoke again to the people, he said, I am the light of the world. Whoever follows me will never walk in darkness, but will have the light of life. John 8:12. Thanks,
Ewan. Jesus is the light of the world. And if we follow him, we don't have to live in darkness, which is good news for us. I mean you, in case you're still afraid of the dark. But this doesn't mean that bad things are never going to happen to us. It means that God's light and his love are going to help us and direct us through the dark and the difficult times that we face. Darkness can be sin and hate and anything else that God doesn't like. If God is light and love, then the darkness is everything that God is not. The darkness that's in our hearts, it can't be defeated with more darkness. It can only be defeated with light, God's light. The darkness that's in our world, it can only be defeated with light too, which means the hate that's in our world can only be defeated with love. And when we choose to follow Jesus, we don't walk in darkness because we have the light of Jesus. And his light directs us, and we can eliminate the sin and the hate and the darkness in our world because we love Jesus. Because he's the light of the world. To show you an example of how amazing Jesus is at being light in the world, I want to take you to our laboratory. So let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to my laboratory.
It's a kitchen.
All right, it's just the kitchen. But I have 3 jars here. This jar is Jesus, nice and clean and pure, just like Jesus is. This jar is sin. It's dark and gross. And this jar is us. It's also clean, just the way God intended for us to be. But it's not going to be clean for very long. See this one? This is sin and it separates us from Jesus. Our Bible verse says that Jesus is the light of the world, which means that in him there's no darkness. We all have darkness in us. Jordan, pour some of this into us. A little more. A little more. There we go. Ugh. We need to be forgiven of the sin because we have the darkness in our lives. And if we follow Jesus, we have the light of life, which means we have God's light in us and don't have to live in darkness anymore. Why don't you pour this into us? Ooh. As God's light enters into our lives, we can be his light to everyone else. Now, pour some of us into this. Yay! So this means when we have Jesus in us, we can eliminate the sin and the darkness and the hate that's in our lives and that's in our world, because Jesus is the light of the world. And if we follow him, we'll be his light too. Thanks again to Jordan for helping me today, and thanks to all of you for coming over. We'll see you next week.